Welcome to Penny Nest, your cozy guide to smarter money decisions. Today, we're taking a deep dive into something that, well, can really make a difference in your monthly budget. Practical, effective ways to save money right here at home.
Mm-hmm.
We've gathered some fantastic insights. You can think of them as your personal cheat sheet, really, for trimming expenses. And the best part, no huge lifestyle overhaul needed.
Exactly.
Our mission today is to arm you with actionable knowledge. We've got sources outlining, I think, 15 specific strategies.
That's right, 15.
So you can feel more in control of your finances and, keep building that secure nest egg.
Yeah, and what's great about these is they focus on small, sustainable changes. It's not about, drastic cuts everywhere.
Right.
It's more about finding those consistent spots where little tweaks can add up to, honestly, pretty significant savings over time.
Okay, let's jump in. Our sources point to energy efficiency as a really solid starting point.
Definitely.
It seems like just being smarter about energy at home can have a bigger cumulative effect than maybe we realize.
Oh, absolutely. Energy is one of those areas where there's often a lot of untapped potential for saving money.
Like lighting.
Exactly, take lighting. The sources highlight switching to LED bulbs. I mean, that alone can cut your energy use for lighting by up to 75%.
75%. Wow.
Yeah, and they last so much longer too. So you're not just saving energy, you're saving on buying bulbs all the time.
That makes sense.
Over the life of just one LED, the savings could, run your fridge for almost a week.
Okay, that really puts it in perspective. But it's not just the lights we leave on, is it? What about that phantom power thing the sources mention? Devices using power even when they're off.
Yeah, that's the sneaky one, phantom drain.
Yeah.
So many electronics, your TV, chargers, coffee maker with...
Right, the little clock light.
Exactly. They keep sipping power even when they're plugged in but turned off. It seems tiny for one device, but add them all up.
It adds up.
It really does.
Yeah.
The easy fix, just unplug stuff you're not using. Or, even easier, use those basic power strips with an on-off switch. Flip one switch, kill power to multiple things.
And there are even smarter versions now, right? The smart power strips.
Yep, those are pretty cool. They're not just on-off. They can actually sense when a device isn't really active anymore, like your TV, after you switch it off, and they cut the power automatically.
Oh, nice. So it's automatic savings?
Pretty much. Super convenient. You don't even have to think about it. Maybe a little cost up front for the strip itself, but the energy savings down the line, usually worth it.
Okay, so keeping power usage down. What about keeping the air we pay to heat or cool inside?
Yeah.
Drafts seem like a big deal in the sources.
Oh, huge. Those little gaps around windows and doors.
Yeah.
Think of them as leaks for your money.
Yeah.
You're paying to heat the air in winter, and poof, it goes out the crack. Same with cool air in the summer.
So sealing them up helps the heating and cooling system work less.
Exactly. Less work means lower bills. And it's often a pretty simple DIY fix with weather stripping or caulk.
Is it hard to find the drafts?
Not usually. The sources have a little guide you can use, like a candle or even a piece of tissue near window edges.
Yeah.
If it flickers or moves, you've got a draft.
Tough trick.
Yeah. Then you just clean the area, apply the stripping or caulk, let it dry. Small time investment, potentially big savings over the long run.
Okay, so we seal the leaks. What's next for temperature control? Thermostats.
Right. Programmable and especially smart thermostats are really useful tools here. They let you automate things.
How so?
Well, you can set schedules, lower the heat when you're out or asleep, have it warm up right before you get home or wake up.
Makes sense.
And smart thermostats go even further. Some actually learn your patterns and adjust automatically for the best mix of comfort and efficiency.
That's pretty smart. Does it make you less aware, though, relying on automation?
That's a fair question. It's convenient, but maybe good to still check in on your usage habits sometimes.
Good point. Okay, so we're keeping the conditioned air in. Let's switch to another resource that costs us: water. The sources really hit home that saving water is good for the planet and the wallet.
Absolutely, that dual benefit is key.
Yeah.
And one of the fastest ways to save. Fix leaks immediately.
Little drips matter.
They matter a lot. The EPA stat is pretty wild.
Oh.
A leak that drips just once per second wastes over 3,000 gallons of water a year.
3,000 gallons from one drip.
Yep, enough to fill a small swimming pool. So yeah, fixing that little drip right away is powerful.
Wow. Okay, besides leak patrol, what else?
Installing low-flow shower heads and faucets, that's a big
Do they feel, weak, though?
Not necessarily. Modern ones are designed really well. They reduce the volume of water without killing the pressure sensation. You still get a good shower, just use less water doing it.
Okay.
And, just being mindful of shower time. Cutting even a few minutes off helps.
Right, shorter showers. What about appliances? Dishwashers, washing machines?
Run them full.
Hmm.
That's the key. Avoid running the dishwasher for just a few plates or the washer for a tiny load if you can help it. Maximize each cycle. And for outside stuff like watering plants or washing the car, rain barrels are fantastic. Collect that free rainwater.
Rain barrels, okay. Interesting. All right, we've covered energy and water. Let's head into the kitchen, another potential budget buster.
For sure.
Cooking at home versus eating out seems obvious, but the sources stress how much it saves consistently.
It's fundamental, really. Restaurant meals, takeout coffee, lunches out, they add up incredibly fast.
So what are the key strategies for cooking at home savings? Meal planning.
Yes, meal planning is huge. Plan your week's meals, make a list, stick to the list. It stops those impulse buys at the store.
And cuts down on waste, I bet.
Absolutely. Studies show households waste a ton of food they buy. Meal planning tackles that head on.
Yep.
Saves you money twice, really buying less and wasting less.
Okay. What about batch cooking? That sounds efficient.
It really is. Cook bigger batches when you have time, maybe on the weekend. Portion it out for lunches or quick dinners during the week.
So you're less tempted to grab takeout when you're tired.
Exactly. You've already got something ready to go. Saves time and money.
Makes sense. And the sources mentioned packing lunch specifically. There was a personal story.
Yeah, a really impactful example. Someone cut their weekly lunch spending from around $50 down to under $50 just by packing their own.
Wow, that's good.
Over $1,800 saved in a year.
Just from lunch.
Just from lunch. It shows how those small daily things really compound. And don't forget, leftovers. Get creative. Turn last night's dinner into today's lunch. Don't just let it sit there.
Right, fight the food waste. Okay, let's shift gears. Entertainment. That can be a sneaky high cost.
Definitely can be. But the good news is, fun doesn't have to be expensive.
So what do the sources suggest? Streaming services seem like a target.
Yeah, those recurring subscriptions. It's easy to sign up for a bunch and then not really watch them all.
Guilty.
Right, so take a few minutes, look at what you're actually using, cancel the ones you aren't, maybe see if you can share an account with family, if the terms allow, add up a few of those services, and sometimes it's almost as much as old school cable.
Good point. Time for a subscription audit. What about free entertainment?
Loads of options. Check out free community events, concerts in the park, festivals, movie nights. Libraries are amazing resources too, not just books, but movies, music, workshops, all free.
Libraries are great.
Just, having people over. Host a game night. Way cheaper than going out to a bar or restaurant, and often more fun.
True. Okay, so we're finding active ways to save. What about making it easier, more automatic? The sources talk about automating savings.
Yes. This is such a powerful concept. Pay yourself first. Make saving automatic so you don't have to think about it or rely on willpower constantly.
How do you do that?
The simplest way is setting up an automatic transfer from your checking to your savings account. Schedule it for payday. Money goes to savings before you even see it or have a chance to spend it.
Set it and forget it.
Pretty much. There are also those Roundup apps now.
Oh yeah, I've heard of those. How do they work?
They link to your accounts, and every time you buy something, they round the purchase up to the nearest dollar and sweep that extra change into your savings.
So like pennies adding up.
Exactly. It's usually small amounts each time, so you barely notice, but it accumulates over time. Another option is direct deposit. Have a portion of your paycheck sent straight to savings automatically.
Making it totally effortless. Okay,
Yeah.
Now something maybe less obvious for saving. Insurance.
Right. Insurance is crucial. You need that protection. But that doesn't mean you can't shop around for better rates.
So get quotes.
Definitely. Get quotes from multiple companies for your car, home, renters, life insurance, whatever you have. Rates can vary a lot for the same coverage.
Interesting. What about deductibles?
You could consider raising your deductibles. That usually lowers your premium, your monthly or yearly cost.
But you'd have to pay more if you make a claim.
Exactly. So you need to be sure you could comfortably cover that higher deductible if something happened. It's a trade-off. Also, ask about bundling. Getting multiple policies like home and auto from the same company often gets you a discount.
Good tip. Okay, transportation. Another biggie for most budgets.
Huge, especially owning a car. Gas, maintenance, insurance. It adds up.
So how to cut those costs?
Well, driving less is the obvious one. Carpooling, if that works for your commute. Using public transport if it's available and convenient for you.
Or walking and biking.
For sure, especially for shorter trips. Saves money, plus it's good for you. And don't neglect regular car maintenance.
How does that save money? Seems like spending money.
It prevents bigger, much more expensive repairs down the road. Plus, a well-maintained car runs more efficiently, so you save on gas too.
Ah, okay. Makes sense. Now, this next one is interesting. DIY cleaning supplies.
Yeah, this is a cool one. Save money and use fewer harsh chemicals.
What kind of recipes are we talking?
Super simple stuff. Mostly using things like white vinegar and baking soda, like an all-purpose cleaner. Just mix vinegar and water.
Really? That works?
Works great for a lot of surfaces. Same for glass cleaner, mostly water, a bit of vinegar, and baking soda paste. Just baking soda and a little water is awesome for scrubbing tougher stains.
Huh. Worth a try. Are they as strong as store-bought, though? Like, for germs?
That's a good question. For everyday cleaning, they're usually fine. For serious disinfection, you might want to double check if they meet your needs, or stick with commercial products for specific tasks.
Okay. Another big potential saving, cutting the cable cord.
Yep. With all the streaming options and digital antennas for local channels, traditional cable packages look pretty expensive these days. Switching can save a bundle each month.
All right, let's loop back to groceries. Not just meal planning, but the actual shopping.
Right. Being a smart shopper.
Yeah.
We mentioned the list. Make it, stick to it, avoid those impulse buys.
Easier said than done sometimes.
True. Also compare prices. Look at store brands versus name brands. Check the weekly ads for sales. Use coupons if you can find them for things you actually need.
What about buying in bulk?
Can be great for non-perishables or things you use a lot of if you have storage space and you'll actually use it before it goes bad. Compare the unit price, though bulk isn't always cheaper.
Good point. And again, reducing food waste ties in here too.
Massively. That USDA stat about 30–40% food waste is shocking. That's thousands of dollars per household potentially going in the bin. Store food properly, use leftovers, that makes a real financial difference.
Okay. Another way to save, loyalty programs and rewards.
Yeah, don't ignore those. Sign up for the free loyalty cards at stores you shop at regularly. You get discounts, special offers, sometimes points back.
Easy enough. What about rewards credit cards?
They can be good if, and this is a big if, you pay the balance off in full every single month. Otherwise, the interest charges will wipe out any rewards you earn, and then some. Use them responsibly for purchases you'd make anyway.
Got it. Pay it off. Now here's one that sounds maybe intimidating. Negotiating bills.
Yeah, it can feel a bit awkward, but it's often worth trying.
Like, just call your internet provider and ask for a discount.
Pretty much. Call them, be polite, say you're reviewing your budget or looking at other options, and ask if there are any promotions or better rates available. Sometimes they'll offer you something just to keep you as a customer. Persistence can pay off.
Huh. Okay. What about finding deals on actual stuff? Secondhand shopping.
Oh yeah. Thrift stores, consignment shops, online marketplaces like Facebook Marketplace or eBay. Fantastic places to find clothes, furniture, household items, you name it, for way less than buying new.
Good for the wallet, good for the planet.
Exactly. Gives items a second life.
And besides buying cheap stuff, the sources mention using free resources generally.
Definitely. Think beyond just shopping. Free online courses, library workshops, community center classes, free local events. Lots of ways to learn, grow, and be entertained without spending money.
Right. Tapping into what's already available. Okay, last one. For the aspiring gardeners out there, growing your own food.
Yeah, even if you just start super small, like an herb garden on your windowsill.
Does that really save much?
Fresh herbs can be kind of pricey at the store. Growing your own basil, mint, parsley. It's easy, gives you fresh flavor for cooking, and saves you buying those little plastic clamshells all the time.
True. How do you start?
The guide suggests finding a sunny spot, using good potting soil that drains well, choosing herbs you like, giving them enough space, watering regularly, and snipping off leaves often. That actually encourages more growth.
Kind of cool. Rewarding too, I bet.
Totally. Fresh food you grew yourself, plus it's thrifty.
Wow, okay. This has been incredibly practical. So many different angles to saving money at home.
Yeah, it really shows how many opportunities there are.
It feels empowering, actually, knowing you can make these small changes.
Exactly. And that's the main takeaway from the sources, really. It's about conscious choices, building good habits. You don't have to do all 15 things tomorrow.
Right.
Pick a few that seem doable for you. Start there. As the sources say, even small changes add up over time. That's the key. Just start and gradually build more into your routine.
Thanks for listening to Penny Nest. For more tips, visit us at pennynest.com.